Welcome to the GenXplainers Podcast. We're all kind of tired, but at the same time, I'm amazed that season 2 of the podcast is coming to a close. And so, like we did last year, we do a recap. We'd look at all the songs that we found to be perfect by the panels in their different iterations. And we find the perfect-est of the season. So we do a little tournament bracket, single elimination, and we just kind of work through them until we find the perfect-est song of the season. Now, last season, it was Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, which I stand by. Fantastic. Perfect-est. Maybe at some point we'll do every song we've ever found perfect in a bracket, but not today. Well, let me say hi. We got the core panel today. We got me and Mike and Al here ready to go.
Hello.
Let's get into it. These have been randomly matched up. So let's start with the first matchup. Match number 1. The songs are The Smiths' How Soon Is Now and 99 Problems by Jay-Z. So let's play a little bit here.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rat patrol on the cat patrol.
Very different vibes going on with these songs, these two songs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, you've got the Smiths doing the Smiths thing, the, post-punk, Morrissey vibe, and then you got 99 Problems, which is such a, it's just, it's black and white. But I'm gonna go ahead and go first and choose which one I think is perfecter.
Okay.
And this is a side note. How Soon Is Now was the first Perfect Song episode of this past season.
Oh, trivia.
Little trivia for you. And so the first song that we said was perfect this season. And 99 Problems is the last song that we deemed perfect as far as publishing order goes. That's just trivia. Doesn't mean anything. But what
You're stalling.
I am. There is probably recency bias, but I'm going to go 99 Problems. I think that one, go listen to the episode if you want to know why.
I'll have to because I wasn't involved in that one.
Right.
But I can't because it's not published.
Damn it. And you've never heard of this song. Well, okay.
Or music at all.
All right. Well, since Mike, I mean, you know the song, and I think you can make a judgment on which one. I'll let you go next. Why don't you go next? How Soon Is Now, 99 Problems. Again, very different vibes, but great songs both.
I'm not going to stall as long as you did.
Oh, I think you should, because that way the show will be 2 hours.
Okay. I'm going to go with How Soon Is Now.
Okay.
I'm going with that one.
This is great because then there's a tiebreaker with Al, although I know what Al's going to say. No, I don't know what Al's going to say.
First of all, you don't. I might say that actually of those two, the perfecter one is Boys Don't Cry.
You could say that, but then
I would
chaos ensues.
Yeah. So I had the same dilemma. I'm sure you both have. Like, how do you compare two songs that are so disparate in their intentions as well as their effect? And I don't know if it's a recency bias thing, but I one of the criteria I used is which one of these do I want to listen to more? And I know that is of a moment, but I also think I know myself well enough to know what I would prefer to listen to more consistently. And that is 99 Problems. And one of the reasons is because I was on the fence about How Soon Is Now, because I do think it's a great, great song, when we first were doing the voting, but it's a little long. It's just a little...
that came into play with me too a little bit. I mean, I love getting into the vibe of it and the lost in the sauce or whatever, but it is a little long. It goes and goes. Yeah.
So, 99 Problems.
Okay.
More perfect.
All right. There you go. Well, there's our first one. let's get to our second matchup. Our second matchup is the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, and Pretenders, Kid.
Ooh.
Play a little bit of each of these.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A Seven Nation Army couldn't hold me back.
Kid, what changed your mood? You got all sad, so I feel sad too.
Okay, well, again, very different feels to the songs as far as like Kid being kind of melancholy, almost melancholy, but kind of happy in a way in the tone. Very melodic, is the word I'm looking for. And Seven Nation Army, very not melodic, very driving, march, powerful, and distorted, nasty, riffy guitar. I'm not going to start this one. I'm going to send this one over to somebody. Send it to Mike. He's got his finger up.
I do. Because I already have my decision.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I'm basing it. Okay, what Alan said earlier about like wanting song you to listen to more is probably Seven Nation Army. However, I think Kid is a more perfecter song because of its layers, its lyrics, and just all around like just the production of it and everything else. I just, for me, it's a more perfecter. Although I probably will listen to Seven Nation Army more myself because I just like that boom, boom, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I do pick Kid of this one.
Okay. Yeah, again, very different songs in different ways. Just sort of the feel and the tone of the song, Both very valid and successful, but yeah. So
Both very valid.
Well, yes, I validate them.
Thank God.
Alan, are you confused as to what our job is here? It is to validate and say if things are good or bad or okay.
Okay.
And people listen.
And we're going to cancel stuff if we need to.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want you to know that I think you're valid.
Aw, thanks.
But not Mark.
Oh, shit. Well, Al, why don't you go next and let us know which one of these two win Kid, Seven Nation Army. I think you brought Seven Nation Army to the table.
I did bring this one. And boy, I agree with everything that's been said so far about how different they are. They like one is so beautifully produced. Not to say that Seven Nation Army isn't well produced, but it's just the layers of sound and just how slick it sounds, but without seeming inauthentic. I'm talking about Kid there. James Honeyman Scott, so good. And I love that song. It's not the only test, like what I want to listen to more. That probably would be Seven Nation Army. They're both kind of timeless in their own way, the themes they're dealing with. But I do have to lean a little bit more towards Seven Nation Army.
Okay.
The thudding drum, and I don't know, it grabs me in my spine, which I don't like, but I also kind of like it.
I think if you ask, what song do you enjoy or love more, I'd say Kid. It's been around, again, it's been around, it's been with me so long, and I've loved it for so long. But Seven Nation Army is also just very undeniable and very catchy and very with you also. Powerful. There's a word. Today's vocabulary day for Matt. I think in this moment right now, I think I would go Seven Nation Army just right now. And I think it goes to the criteria of perfectness, quote, for me, that is emotional effectiveness or effectiveness, not even just emotional, but it could be intellectual effectiveness, but effectiveness of a song by the songwriter's aim. Does that make sense? I think Kid is a great, fantastic, a perfect song that tells its own story about love, in that case, of a woman and her son. It is a son? It's just a kid. never says what gender the kid is, right? I don't know. But it's very effective telling a story about feelings around that situation. But I think musically, it doesn't quite... the music isn't used quite as effectively as it is in Seven Nation Army. I'm talking a lot about it, blah, blah, blah. But it really like grabs the spine, as Al said. I'm going Seven Nation Army in a very difficult choice. So I'm going to advance Seven Nation Army. Here's the next matchup.
Here we go.
We've got some older songs. We've got Heart's Barracuda. And we have Jimi Hendrix's cover of All Along the Watchtower.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief.
So, yeah, Barracuda and All Along the Watchtower. More older songs, rockin' songs. I'm going to start just for kicks. I think, again, all of these songs are perfect. We've said they were. I love them all. Going back to sort of emotional, having it work emotionally through the music, through the composition, or in the production and the composition and the musicality of it. I'm going All Along the Watchtower. Every time I hear that song, I'm just really impressed by how the sound of it, how it makes me feel, mirrors the kind of message it's bringing. And for the time, it's not timeless because it really talks of a time, I think, but it also talks of a timeless feeling of chaos and emotion. So, All Along the Watchtower. I love Barracuda. Sorry, Anne and Nancy, but I got to go with Jimmy. So, how about you, Al? Between these two,
We're gonna say it for every matchup. It's so hard. They're all my special children.
Come on, Sophie, make a choice.
It's a tough one. I think I was the one that brought Barracuda, so I, have a little extra feather on the scale for that reason, because I do love that song so much. I love Ann Wilson's voice and Nancy Wilson's guitar, and the drive of the song really gets me. Just the opening riff is fantastic.
Yeah, just from the outset, it grabs you.
Yeah.
And you're along for the ride.
On the other hand, you got the combination of a Bob Dylan song as remade and recreated by Jimi Hendrix in such a way that even Bob Dylan is like, yeah, oh no, that's the better version of my song. Very powerful. And while it is of a time, I think it's of a time in a way that also speaks to other times, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. At this point, I have to assume it's just the three of us listening, and let's be honest, I don't even listen. So, I'm a Leo. That's what we do.
To be honest, my wife is the only person that listens to the podcast.
No, Chrissy does too. Chrissy.
Oh, but my wife just does it out of a feeling of obligation,
Duty,
wifely duty.
This is a real hard one for me. I'm gonna say Barracuda, though.
Okay. Have you been able to think, Mike, since you weren't on the?
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to sort of just. Yeah.
I'm going to go on this one with the one I immediately react to when I hear it, and one that is immediately just love it and all that stuff. Just because it's hard between these two.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna have to go. I'm going with Barracuda on this one, just because I have to on that
Yeah.
between the two. Yeah.
Great song. Barracuda moves forward. Here we go.
We've now lost our boomer audience.
There's nothing left here that they have any interest in. All right, but the next matchup, this is an interesting one. It is Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2 and Back to Black by Amy Winehouse.
I can't believe the news today. Oh, I can't close
All right, there they are. Good songs, both. Let's start. Let's start with Al on this one.
Well, first of all, I think I brought Sunday Bloody Sunday.
You did,
You did, yeah.
and Mike brought Back to Black, I think.
That's right. So this is really just Mike versus me.
That's it.
Which is the way it should be.
Who will win the soul of Matt?
Choose weapons.
This is another tough one. I love Sunday Bloody Sunday. I love what is it, like it's a violin or something that they're
Yeah,
also
it's a
playing
violin.
on that. Yeah, and just it does, as you said, capture that time so well, and it is a very powerful song. And I also love Back to Black. It's actually, I think, when I was re-listening to these songs for this podcast, it was the last one that I listened to. And so it's actually been in my head like this morning as a result. And it is like, is it the stripped down Sunday Bloody Sunday, or is it the lush layered Back to Black? I am going to say Back to Black.
Okay.
I do think it just, the richness of it and the sultriness of it. I love that song.
All right, Mike. How about you?
And I am also going Back to Black because of exactly the reasons Alan said. It's that rich, layered, the production, just there's so much that when you listen to it, it's not overproduced. It's just the right amount of production for me. And just the unique sound of it, throwback, but also modernized, and just the emotions behind it. And like when that breakdown in the middle that you played a little bit of, it's just like, to me, it's just so perfect, the structure of it. And although I love Sunday Bloody Sunday a lot, I mean, I grew up with the song. It's just, for me, it's that Back to Black just hits me in the gut.
Yeah.
As opposed to Sunday Bloody Sunday, which doesn't hit me in the gut anymore. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I totally relate to that comment, especially because I was thinking about these songs. Like Back to Black was one when we did it. I hadn't listened to it very much. I didn't have the album. I'd heard it several times, like radio or whatever. But I was really blown away by, the emotion of it, and the production was great and interesting. And it was more recent. Sunday Bloody Sunday was from when I was, 15, 14 or something. And it affected me. It was just as effective for me back then, but we've lived with it for a long time. And I can still appreciate it when I listen to it. I obviously said it was a perfect song. And it's a great song, but I'm going to go Back to Black as well. I'm going to go with that, even though it was close. They're all going to be close, but let's go.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's your turkey bracket. This one, well, I can't do a turkey every time that happens, but Back to Black moves forward. All right, next one. Oh, very interesting as well. This one is a matchup between Florence and the Machine's Dog Days Are Over and Death Cab for Cutie's I Will Follow You Into the Dark.
Oof.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark.
She sat with a drink and washed it away down the kitchen sink. The dog days are over.
I'll say that I think these two, this matchup, are the two most emotional and sort of beautiful songs. Does that make any sense? I mean, they're very emotionally open and raw and honest in different ways. One of them is certainly just more, obviously, acoustic, gentle, and really earnest and honest about the feelings. And same with the other one, but done in a much different way. A building anthem of power and strength kind of thing. different and very similar. So, and very difficult.
I like the Death Cab for Cutie song. It sounds like the stripped down version of a song, but it's actually the original song.
Yeah, well, I think I think we mentioned in the podcast it was sort of they just recorded it because he was doodling around with it, and the producer, who I forget who it was, said, "Hey, why don't we record this?" And he just sort of did it, and it's just so immediate and so effective. I mean, I brought Dog Days, and I brought both of these, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. And I love them both so much. Oh my God. Maybe I'll go last. No, I'll go. I'll decide.
No, I
Okay,
don't
Mike,
care.
why don't you let me know? Maybe you'll help me decide.
Okay. So when I was listening to this yesterday, the two songs yesterday, I thought of the different emotions that they were conveying. And lyrically, I mean, if we're breaking down by lyrics, I'd probably go Death Cab.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
If I broke it down by lyrics. If I did not, and I was going for production, obviously, I'd pick Florence. So for me, I'm going back to, again, what do I want to return to more often? And that's the only way I could determine between these two songs, just because they're so connected emotionally. So I'm going to pick Death Cab on this one.
Okay.
Just because of the lyrical content and the rawness of it and the immediacy of it and how it just lyrically, it's just so incredibly poetic. And for me, that's what it is. And not that Florence's song isn't, it's just for me, that's what speaks to me more. So I'm going to pick Death Cab. All
right. How about you, Al? I will go last on this and let you go.
Okay. The Florence song is so well produced. It starts so sort of ethereal almost with her voice, and then it builds to that wonderful anthemic climax, for lack of a better term. It's really powerful, and I probably will listen to that song more often. It's a delight. I consider that song a delight to me. It does really get the blood moving. Death Cab for Cutie, that song, in all honesty, like I teared up just hearing that little part. And maybe it's because like I'm in the first year of a marriage and I just love my wife so much, which is all true. But it makes me think of her, and there's no doubt in my mind which song grabs me more, and it's the Death Cab song. So that's how I'm voting.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what you say.
Right. It doesn't. I am going with Death Cab as well. For the reasons, again, for the reasons you both said, the lyrics is just sort of what engages me more between the songs. Again, I love both songs, obviously. And then, I got emotional just listening to that as well, the Death Cab. Just like going, wow, the way he delivers it and the lyrics themselves are they work so well to convey the exact feeling he's trying to convey. So, that one, unanimous vote, turkey time on that one. I Will Follow You Into the Dark wins that bracket. All right, moving on. Well, here's a fun one. The next one pits the Beastie Boys with Sabotage against Al Green.
I'm so in love with you.
Talk about disparate kind of feels and aims.
Oh, no, they have the same message.
Right. It's just the Beastie Boys have a funny way of showing their love and emotions. Okay, boy, again, it's so interesting. Such different songs can just work for themselves in different ways, but both be really good. I guess it's going to come down to that whole, like, okay, well, is the song doing its job? And in my head, the job is conveying what it's trying to convey in a impactful way. And is it? And also, I've said this before in the past. I like a unique approach to songwriting and producing a song. And I think the Beastie Boys, in this case for Sabotage, certainly is a unique and more, how do I say it? I'll go about it the other way. Al Green is great, and he comes from a certain genre that I think I really favor when I judge songs. I love these kind of songs because they go straight to my kind of, love of R&B, I guess, or the old R&B. And Al Green's voice is incredible, and it's all working together to make this work in this genre. And then the same can be said of Beastie Boys and Sabotage, even though it's a little actually more a unique kind of sound, because the Beastie Boys have a unique sound between kind of bratty punk and rap hip hop, and they sort of perfectly meld that together. So I think I'm going to go Sabotage because it's a little more unique. And that's just what I think about that right now. Who wants to go next? I'll go with Sabotage on this.
Yeah, in a weird way, this is kind of Seven Nation Army versus Kid again. In a weird way, the rawness of Sabotage versus the more produced song in Let's Stay Together. And I get what you're saying. I mean, Sabotage, I think, is a more unique song, and Let's Stay Together is the type of a song that I think most songs aspire to be like that, right? Like in the same kind of wheelhouse as that. It's just Let's Stay Together is so much better than all of them. I don't know if this is making sense. But.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
No, it does, because within the genre, again, like you said, everyone wants to be that song that connects with people. But I think because the way Al Green sings it and the way, it rises above. It goes to the top.
Yeah. And it's and I also just mean that like most music is aspiring to be a romantic pop song. Whereas a lot of songs also aspire to be like a powerful, raw, I'm mad, it's a Sabotage. I have a real hard time choosing. It's like I'm trying to choose between two different parts of my soul. But I think on this one, contrary to my previous vote, I'm going to go with Let's Stay Together.
All right.
Well, something that both of you said Matt said about the uniqueness, and Alan said, aspiring to be. I think the Beastie Boys are their own genre, to be honest. I think that nobody else in the world sounds like them. And they're unmistakable. That's a Beastie Boys song. It's like no one else in the world ever sounded like the Beastie Boys as far as I know. And so I think that is something that to be said, and that is the song that if it comes on, the volume immediately goes up for me immediately. However, I'm going with Al Green as well. It is a song that just it's as good today as it was back when I was young. It hasn't changed for me. I feel the same way. It's timeless. It's just this amazing vocal production, everything about it with all the different lyrics and layers and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going with that.
All right. Al Green moves forward. All right. This one. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. This next one. Not until it's time. Our next matchup is The Cure with Boys Don't Cry and Under Pressure.
I would say I'm sorry if I thought that it would change your mind, but I know that this time I have said too much, been too unkind.
So yeah, again, really different songs as far as style, and the approach they're taking for the song. I mean, you've got Bowie and you've got Freddie Mercury with these amazing vocals, and it's anthemic and it builds, and it's all those things that I often say, wow, that really I really dig that. And I do. And then you got Boys Don't Cry with, Robert Smith with a very simple little song. And remember, I mentioned simple earlier as something that I was thinking about being a criteria.
Is that foreshadowing? No.
I'm teasing. It's a tease. You gotta learn how to tease a little. But anyway, and just sparse, spare, ditty, a little ditty, not an anthem, it's a ditty. So yeah, very different in approach to the song. And I'm gonna just say I'm going Boys Don't Cry because there's your foreshadowing. I think in this case, it doesn't have to do anything more than it's doing, and it completely works. And the sound of it and the arrangement and the, his vocal, it's all just works towards the goal, and it completely works. So I'm going The Cure on that one. How about you, Mike? What do you think?
I am also going The Cure. No surprise there, considering they're my favorite band. However, the only reason I choose it over this is because I love Under Pressure so much, is because I think Under Pressure does too much at times. And that's the one issue I have with it, but I love the song. It's just, it does a little bit too much. And I do agree with you that it's just simple. It gets to the point and it gets out. Comes in, gets to the point, gets out. And that's why it works.
And for a simple song to have it, when it comes on, to still want to hear it, I think that says something to the songwriting. And it's it's a short song. It does what it needs to do and it moves on. So how about you, Al? What do you think?
So first of all, I hate you because I am forced to reject one of my two all-time favorite artists, either The Cure or David Bowie.
Yes.
And I have no choice. Like, I have to.
You have to.
I just tap out, like, because it's already decided, right? Like, I don't have to vote.
Yeah, I guess.
But I will. No.
Winners never quit and quitters never win.
Yeah, but I never win, so I'm good. Personally, one of Under Pressure is one of my all-time favorite songs because it is, I think, I may have said this when we discussed it the first time, but for my money, it's the two best male vocalists of the 1970s working together and absolutely killing it. If anyone has heard the vocal only track of this song, it's impressive just by itself.
I play a little bit of that in the episode, so everyone, you should, after this, check out the episode. Go down a rabbit hole of Perfect Song episodes. Like and subscribe. Come on.
Should they smash that like button?
Smash it.
Smash your phones. No, it's an amazing song. And but Boys Don't Cry is also, like, The Cure is my favorite band also, and everything you guys say is absolutely true. It's direct, it's simple, it's kind of sweet and regretful at the same time. It's just a very difficult choice for me, but I actually would vote for Under Pressure.
All right.
Because it accomplishes so much. So I'm going to kind of flip the script on what Mike said about it doing too much. I'm impressed by how much it actually does. I think it's more... too
much only at times. Only at times it does too much. I didn't say the whole song was too much.
But they pull it off. How's that? They actually... Yeah.
They pull it off. That song gets more done in 5 minutes than I do in a week. So...
All right. Fair. However, Boys Don't Cry does... move forward, is the one that moves forward. Yes. So let's send Robert along. Okay, so the last two of these matchups is, and I don't think this one's going to be hard for me, but it's Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, and Only You by Yaz.
And all I ever knew, only you.
Shakedown 1979.
All right. I'm going to go first on this one. And I'll just say I'm going to say it's 1979. Now I obviously like Only You, and I did deem it perfect when we did it. And we did Boys Don't Cry. I think it's a similar kind of idea. Like Only You is extremely simple. It's not musically complicated or deep. I don't know how to say it, but it's just interlocking keyboard synthy lines from Vince Clarke, and it works really, really well. And Alison Moyet has a great voice. It works. It's great. It's perfect. But just now, I was playing 1979 for us and listening to it. I didn't want to stop it. It was really hard for me to stop it. I just wanted to hear the whole damn song, and it grabs me that way. So I love 1979, so I'm choosing it. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. It's 1979.
Okay.
It's the only one that works of these two, like as a perfecter song. So that's just all I can say. So move on.
Okay, Al, what do you say?
I love Vince Clarke, and I like the Vince Clarkeification of any song. I think he's a great musician and a great producer as well. In my mind, it's kind of like a Billy Corgan versus Vince Clarke, more so than Smashing Pumpkins versus Yazoo. But
you're kind of right there, I think.
Yeah,
I think Vince Clarkeification should be an actual term.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Mike. That's the name of my new podcast, Vince Clarkeification. No. I'm now just in the very moment obsessed with the idea of creating a podcast called Vince Clarkeification. But
I would tune in.
The clear winner is 1979.
Yeah, I think so.
It's so good, and so just the little touches, that little bloop. Now I don't even know what that sound is. Like dan 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 bloop. No.
Yeah, no, it has a lot of subtle little bits to it. That
it's really just Billy Corgan going bloop.
Yeah. All right. 1979 moves on. So that was our Sweet 16. Now we're down to the 8. What is the 8 again? Awesome. No.
The Hateful Eight.
The Hateful 8. So our first matchup in round 2. Our first matchup for round 2 is 99 Problems and Seven Nation Army, the number songs. How about someone else start?
I can go.
Look at they get there's fewer, but they get harder. Maybe I don't know. All right, Mike, go ahead.
I'm going to pick Seven Nation Army on this one.
Okay.
And just flat out, that's what I'm going for because I just think it's just the song I would go to more than 99 Problems. So.
All right. How about you, Al?
Wow, that's tough. I love 99 Problems. I think it's such a well written and well produced track. Get that Rick Rubin, Jay-Z. But yeah, no, I probably do vote Seven Nation Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I too am going Seven Nation Army for the reasons we discussed. It's just really effective. And as we go, they do get hard. It's just very because of the premise that we have to choose.
Yeah.
We choose. So there you go. Seven Nation Army moves forward. All right, here's our next matchup. We got Barracuda and Back to Black.
Oh, yikes.
These are our songs that start with B. No. Anyway, so I'm going to go say Back to Black. For the reasons stated, I think Barracuda's great, but I think more is going on in Back to Black, and I think it just affects me a little bit more. I think it works for me a little bit more. How about Mike?
Thanks so much.
Well, you can, if you need time.
No. I'm going Back to Black.
Okay.
Also for the same reasons we stated already. It just hits me in the gut. It's a song that just gets me every time. And I got to go with that. Barracuda is a fun song that I just love, but Back to Black just is that powerful song.
Yeah. All right. Al?
Yeah, no, it's Back to Black for me too. It's interesting. These are harder choices. At the same time, they're also easier choices
Yeah.
in a weird way.
We've already kind of talked about them. We've already sort of
Yeah.
got into why and why they won already or why they've already moved forward. So I guess we just compare our notes real quick and say, I think I think this one wins. So in this case, Back to Black. All right, third matchup. Oh, interesting. I Will Follow You Into the Dark. Let's Stay Together.
Oh,
Al Green.
Jesus. Okay, this is a hard one.
This is hard. I mean, it's hard. Hey, they're both love songs. Nothing but love songs. And you know what's funny? When I look at these 8 that we're talking about, 3 of them are love songs. The rest are, well, actually, that's not true. Back to Black can be considered a love song. It's just a end of love song, right? Anyway.
Seven Nation Army is also a love song.
Okay, forget it. Oh, and 99 Problems.
Okay, I'll go first on this one if you want.
Okay, sure, go for it.
I'm gonna say Let's Stay Together. Just because probably because I have such history with the song, but at the same time, I just think that it is as powerful today as it was back then, and that timeless thing that really that's one of my big criteria for a perfect song. So
Sure.
I'm going with that one.
Okay. What about you, Al? Are you going? Yeah.
I am basically going with my gut on this. And when you said both of them, I immediately thought that I'll Follow You Into the Dark was my choice. That's
All right. Yeah, it's again funny if we want to sort of contrast what's different about the songs.
Everything.
Well, certainly the approach to the relationship feelings of love in the relationships. One's pretty straightforward. Let's just stay together no matter what. And the other one kind of says the same thing, but in a much different way. Don't be afraid.
Existential
More
way.
existential way. I love the simplicity, the simple approach, and the story, even the story behind how it was recorded, how the Death Cab for Cutie song was recorded, and the opposite production aesthetic.
Exactly.
Go
Totally.
in that room and let's record this thing, in mono, and then Let's Stay Together is very produced and sounds great and very well put together.
And it took a long time to record too.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it did.
remember that. It did. So, I mean, I guess it does affect the song and how it sounds, actually. I am going to go with I Will Follow You Into the Dark because
There you go.
for the emotions being conveyed or the ideas being conveyed, that emotional reaction that I have to that song makes it the perfect song between the two, the perfecter song. So let's do that. All right. Last matchup of this round is Boys Don't Cry in 1979. Let's go to Mr. Clark on this first. Why not?
It's a tough one, I guess. Because actually, in a weird way, they're just so different. I mean, they're as opposed to the last matchup, they're just about different things. Like it's just really kind of, it's hard to put both songs in my head at the same time. But I think I would, as much as I love 1979, I would pick Boys Don't Cry.
All right. How about you, Mike?
I'm going with Boys Don't Cry as well.
Yeah. I think I am too.
Yeah.
Love them both, but yeah, when you start thinking perfect song, well, it just jumps out at you. It just sort of is a thing of itself. It's a jewel. It's a little gem in a jewelry box. There you go. There's my little metaphor for you. Okay, so we're down to the final 4. So interesting. Seven Nation Army is going up against Back to Black.
Mm-hmm.
They're very contemporaneous songs. They're contemporaries of each other, kinda. I think. At least it's in my mind. I mean, I feel like they're from the same kind of time period. and they both have a similar production feel. Not that that's going to sway my vote or anything, but man, they're both so good. I mean, I'll try to go first here and sort of talk it out with myself. I certainly listened to Seven Nation Army a lot more than Back to Black over the years since they came out. Seven Nation Army certainly is more linear and driving. Well, Back to Black has a lot of different parts that really work together and kind of create a feel. Back to Black again has that sort of old schooly or old song feel. What's the word I'm looking for? It harkens back to a sound, almost like a swing and big bandy sound. I don't know how we said it before, but it borrows from that time period of song. Seven Nation Army is kind of, it borrows from military marches, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just have to go at this point. I just go with like, it's like when I don't know what I want to order on the menu, and the waiter comes up, and the server, what do you want? Kung Pao chicken. But in this case, I'll say Seven Nation Army.
Well, I always ask them to add bacon, so I'm going with the B.
Well, go, Mike. Yeah, you're going with.
I'm going Back to Black. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? You're gonna break this tie.
I do. I have to. And I'm just going to stop and say, before any decision is made, that the final 4 songs were Boys Don't Cry, Back to Black, Seven Nation Army, and I'll Follow You Into the Dark. I'll Follow You Into the Dark was brought by Matt. Back to Black was brought by Mike. Seven Nation Army was brought by me. And Boys Don't Cry was brought by Rand.
By Rand. Interesting.
Mm.
So this is really a vote on who's awesome or awesomest.
Wait, Randy's not here, so screw him.
Oh, forget it. He can't defend himself.
He's the worst of us. I have a hard time with this. There's so, the Back to Black is a much more complicated song in a weird way. Like it's trying to do more, and it does it very, very well. Hits you in the gut, but Seven Nation Army grabs me by the spine. So
that's right.
Is it my gut or my spine?
I thought you said you'd go with your gut.
I did once,
but his spine.
But then I went with the spine once too. And then there's Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah, think about the Kung Pao.
But I like bacon too. I don't know. It's a hard choice, is what I'm trying to say. But I finally do come down on Seven Nation Army.
Okay, Seven Nation Army. Moving forward, the next matchup is, as Al mentioned, the other 2 songs: "I Will Follow You Into the Dark," "Death Cab for Cutie," or "Boys Don't Cry" by The Cure. It's hard. It's a difficult one for me because I really, 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 really love these songs. Anyone else want to say anything about like the deliberation you're having about them? Because I can't.
No, it's the same one you're having. I mean, it comes down to
maybe you're not deliberating at all. Maybe you know. Maybe you just know.
I know which one I'm going to pick, but I'm still in my head like it's tough.
Yeah. The contrast for me, a lot of it comes down to like they're both really raw feelings, but one of them is, I think, a younger feeling, whereas one's a little bit more mature.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And they're both reflective songs, like this is the singer is like reflecting on this relationship.
Yeah. I'm going to step back to the macro view and look at the perfect song, what it means. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Here we go.
All right.
Everything relies on this. I'm going to go with "I Will Follow You Into the Dark." Yeah, I'm going with that one because of the musical, the way the music works in the song, the musical accompaniment, and then the lyrics being a little more of a picture being painted, a little more complex picture being painted. Not as simple, like I said, I was going to favor, but I'm going to go with that because I have to. Robert Smith hates me now. Before he
always
loved.
did.
He always
He always hated you.
Okay, how about you guys?
I'm gonna pick "Boys Don't Cry."
Okay.
So I don't have any notes to add. Just I'm
Sure.
gonna pick that one. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's no wrong answers anymore.
But there's no right ones either. So.
Right. There's no right ones either, so you just gotta.
For a lot of the everything, these songs have been talked to death now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I pick "I'll Follow You Into the Dark."
All right.
It's just a little more direct.
Yeah, and I think because of the way the music is just simple acoustic guitar with I think it's actually more timeless than "Boys Don't Cry" if you're going to use that criteria. But like I said, I can listen to "Boys Don't Cry" anytime it comes on. So I don't know. if that
Yeah,
makes
no, it's a
sense.
great song.
We hope you're enjoying this GenXplainers podcast. Please remember to find us and follow us on social media. And we'd much appreciate a 5-star rating on the podcast platform of your choice. Now, let's get back to the show. All right. Well, there you go. We have come to the final two, the championship matchup here in Madison Square Garden. And it's an interesting matchup. It's "I Will Follow You Into the Dark," Death Cab for Cutie, against Seven Nation Army by White Stripes.
I'm going to Wichita, far from this opera forevermore. I'm gonna work the straw, make the sweat drip out of every pore.
If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, and illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark.
Not what I would have thought would make it necessarily.
one of the two is what I thought was going to be one at the end.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah. And it wasn't one I voted for, but I knew you both were going to vote for it. And so I knew it was going to make it through to the end.
Okay.
One of the two, I'll tell you at the end.
Well, again, no wrong, no right answers. Not easy to choose. So yeah, maybe we go back to the criteria Mike said. What do I want to hear? If someone put these two songs in front of me, said, "Hey, what do I want to hear right now?" You could use that criteria, or maybe which one works as a song better, which one fulfills its goal better.
I can tell you which one iTunes tells me I listen to the most.
I'm gonna go with "I Will Follow You Into the Dark" by Death Cab for Cutie.
Okay.
Yeah. No right answer, no wrong answer. Whoever would like to go next can go next.
I'll go next. It's a hard choice.
Yeah.
It's a hard knock life for me. I know which one I listen to more often. I don't need iTunes or Spotify to tell me.
Sure.
And, every single song that we've discussed today is a fantastic. We've already said that they're perfect. So it's, it's, I don't need to say it any more than that. But I do think that both songs are very powerful, but in different ways. I think that they're both direct, but "I'll Follow You Into the Dark" is really stripped down. Seven Nation Army, not as stripped down, but in a weird way, I feel it's more raw, the feelings, and just by like a hair, like a thin hair, like one of my black hairs, not one of my crusty white hairs. I'm going to say Seven Nation Army.
All right.
I am curious why your white hairs are crusty, but we'll get back to that.
Maybe we won't get back to that, but
The white or silver hair has a different texture than than your normal hair.
Okay. Well,
That's
when
a
we
fact.
when we do the hair episode, we'll talk hair.
I'm ready. Let's do it now.
Okay, well, Mike, it's all up to you. You are going to crown. You are going to crown the most perfectest song of season 2. It's up to you. And I'm going to go with a show tune from Oklahoma. No.
And of these two, I agree with both sides of what each of you have said. But I am going to go with Seven Nation Army.
Seven Nation Army. Woo, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is the winner.
And when we started this out with a 16, I saw that, but the matchup against it, I think, was Kid. And so for me, I couldn't pick this over Kid, but this is the one I thought that you guys were going to pick, and I knew it was going to get to the end. So,
okay.
So that was what I'm like. I looked at the list and said, I think I know it's going to be the winner. And it even though I picked in the end, I didn't do it for that.
Picked it.
I know, but
self-fulfilling prophecy.
I didn't do it for that reason, but it is of the two songs, the one I would pick. So
right. I didn't necessarily think. Obviously, I knew all of them could get there, but I didn't necessarily think these would be the two. I do think that Seven Nation Army was probably more likely to get there.
I thought it was going to be Seven Nation Army and Boys Don't Cry, and in the end,
it almost was.
I thought it was going to be between those two, but I was wrong on the second one. So
the hardest two for me were Boys Don't Cry and I Will Follow You Into the Dark. I think I was so close. I was like, I could have gone either way, and I just sort of went with whatever I said. But kind of a surprise. Maybe not a complete surprise for anybody, but Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that it's we us growing up with so many of these songs that we picked songs that came out a lot later.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
The whole kind of premise being songs we grew up with. Hey, that's the whole thing about Gen X. We never grow up. Sorry.
The hell just happened?
I don't know.
Aren't we supposed to do like the Gen X Rise thing or something? that dumb thing?
Is that a thing?
I haven't seen that, but okay.
That's Wolverine, I thought, or something.
No,
from something.
I think some members of Gen Z were disparaging Eminem's latest album. And so a bunch of people our age go like, you are not, got on TikTok and whatever, you are not going to cancel Eminem. You're not going to, and they weren't canceling him. They were just like, but this is just a shitty record. Like, we like Eminem, but we don't like this one. And they had this thing where they would go, Gen X Rise, and they would do this, like make an X with their, and
that's
their
annoying.
eyes would be red. Like they would like laser red. And I never wanted to leave my generation quicker than in that moment.
This story reminds me that I hate people.
Yeah. And to be honest, to create a movement meme around some kind of that's the least Gen X thing I can think of that people would do.
I agree.
I don't want to be a part of your dumb little club about something stupid.
Or as a friend once said, we don't want to be a part of this stupid intergenerational knife fight.
Right. Obviously, we ply that trade with this whole podcast, but it's a tongue-in-cheek. Here's a spoiler for you guys out there, listeners. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek theme. It's really just a way for me to organize what we're going to talk about or the music and the culture stuff we're going to do. Otherwise, there's just too much. So I have to pick an angle that helps with it helps with content creation.
And you'd get more of these tidbits if you were a subscriber and on Patreon.
Man, you'd get some tidbits.
Oh my God. And you would probably hear some of the first episodes of the new Vince Clarkification podcast that we'll be doing.
The first month of that podcast will be free if you subscribe. Once that gets off the ground. Vince Clark.
As soon as we figure out what the hell it will be.
Well, I was going to say, is that just music, or can you Vince Clarkify a movie? Can you Vince? How about a fashion? Can we do? Anyway. Well, there you go. Let's wrap it up here.
How do I Vince Clarkify my dog?
You got to get him old school analog synths first. So there you have it.
You've heard of the bedazzler. Now
It's Clockafire. 12 easy payments. Doodle-lip. That's the sound when you get.
When you get it, when you turn it on.
When you, now I have to sample just that little bit and somehow utilize it in future episodes if something happens that can be any way related to Vince Clarke. Doodle-loop. Well, that has to happen now. There's more work for me. All right, we're wrapping it up. Wrap it up. Seven Nation Army, The White Stripes. Season 2, Perfect-EST song. Hey, thanks guys for chiming in and voting and thinking about this. And thank you listeners and viewers for listening and viewing. And season 3 is coming. I don't think, who knows what crazy things and surprises, but who knows what crazy surprises are going to happen. Probably nothing much. But anyway, I'm going to continue doing this. These guys hopefully will continue doing it. We have people who come on who aren't here, Rand and folks and Mandy, who hopefully will keep coming. Here's what I'm going to ask y'all, and I'm going to probably do like a YouTube video announcement or sort of just call to action for people. I want people to please let us know. If you're YouTube, you can go to the community page or just leave a comment on this video. What do you want to hear more of? What do you want us to do more of? Do more just perfect songs? Hit the songs, and that's what I like the most. Do you want it? We've done albums. We do movie stuff, which I enjoy, which get the least amount of views, and I spend hours on them. The Albert Brooks is like one of the best things we've ever done. I think 4 people watched it. But I'm not complaining. I enjoy doing it.
one of them was Albert Brooks, though. So
yeah, well, that'd be nice if you were to come on the show. So yeah, what do you want? What content do you want? Because we want to give you what you want while still doing what we want. And also I want to beef up engagement with the audience in some way, even if it's just more comments, even if it's, because eventually I want to do like a live stream and maybe have people come, watch the live stream, comment in real time, that kind of thing. My idea, I'm going to tell you guys, I want to maybe do a live stream with lots of some younger guests, and I want to do a Taylor Swift song off. And I thought that might be a fun live stream one, because I know my niece and my daughter would love to be on there and say what Taylor Swift song they like.
I have a lot of opinions.
Yeah,
on that subject.
I don't have a lot, but I'm here to facilitate. Anyway, give us some ideas. What do you like? What do you want to hear? What's going to get you to come back? Because we want to, I want to grow the channel as much as we can. And if there are any corporations who would love to sponsor a show like this, I'm thinking maybe Poise. Depends. Some age appropriate. maybe Viagra. No. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Now, from the makers of Cialis, GenXplainers.
Ozempic.
Ozempic, yes.
Yeah. They've got the sponsorship money these days, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any pharmaceutical company, I think, would be
great for us.
Jardiance.
Free samples for the podcasters.
Oh man, that song was really sweet. Speaking of sweet, Jardiance. My blood sugars are through the roof. Okay, now we're really saying goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.